Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. My dear viewers, today we are going to discuss about the Islamic psychology, what we teach in Islamic psychology. Actually, Islamic psychology is the emerging discipline in 19th century propounded by a psychologist. This term was coined by Malik Badri, and he is known as the trailblazer of Islamic psychology in modern times. So, Islamic psychology, what we teach in this discipline, in nutshell, we teach mainstream psychology from Islamic perspective. It means that we scrutinize modern and Western theories and approaches through the lens of Islam. We teach about the Muslim scholars and Muslim scholars on whose shoulders these modern day psychologists stood and produced their theories and approaches. But the identity of those Muslim giants got lost in oblivion. We teach their incredibly significant contribution in the field of psychology. We also cover the topics like the depression, anxiety, stress, health, personality, and addiction. Actually, Islamic psychology deals with the study about the human nature, and there are the different connotations of a human nature in Western psychology and in behaviorism. The shape of human concept is dictated, is presented that human as an animal, and this this level of this level of conception, the raising the humanness from the level of spiritual beings towards the towards the level of animals. It can it it largely impacts on the concept of spirit, concept of soul. It picture out the concept of soul, and the concept of spirituality is out of picture from that school of thought. When we talk about the psychoanalysis, where a man is a man and whose behavior is totally and controlled by the sexual behavior in the sexual, we can say that the libido, and libido is and thanatos and Eranos, propounded by the Sigmund Freud. These concepts are propounded by Sigmund Freud, and there is a lot of controversy among these schools of thought in the Western psychology. In Islamic psychology, what we understood, what we understood and what we teach, and the main teachings of the concept of Islam, its ontological and axiological parameters and paradigms are based on the Quran and the Sunnah. We teach in it a concept of human, and concept of human as a spiritual being, and the concept of human as a Khalifa on this earth. Is born Man is born with the instincts, natural instincts imbibed by the Almighty Allah Subhanahu wa Taala. And my dear friends, this was a short and a crisp description on the Islamic psychology, and Islamic psychology, how this field came into existence after a after a after after the decadence of the contribution of the Muslim psychologists, from the and in the Abbasid period, Muslim scholars, Muslim scholars contributed a lot towards the psychology. For example, we will talk about in psychosomatic. We will talk about Abu Zayd al-Balkhi, Imam al-Ghazali. He was a very proponent of personality theories, theories of personalities, and Al-Kindi on the dreams and the impact of music, and impact of music, and so Al-Haytham was also there, a very great contributor who discussed about the psychophysics and how the environmental stimuli impacts the human behavior. And there are so many lot of literature that which is written on it. For example, we will see about the Ibn Sina, and there are so many kinds of the branches of the modern psychology. Like some, for example, here is the counseling psychology is there, psychopathology is there, and these all fields of psychology were discussed by the Muslim scholars at that time. Unfortunately, at that time, these terms were not there, but consciously or unconsciously, these concepts these concepts are these concepts are being written in the and documented in their works. So this was a comment on the psychology, Islamic psychology, and its different kinds of fields and of Muslim scholars and the contribution. And inshallah, we will discuss more about the contribution of Muslim scholars and the definitions of the Muslim Islamic psychology put by the modern Islamic psychologists. And this was a short and crisp description of the Islamic psychology, and we will advance towards the other fields of psychology, inshallah.